Hey, Ron Doyle again saying hello for Google number 15. We're going to take a look back at a couple of things I mentioned several podcasts ago about documents. And I made a statement saying I don't know why they don't have this, but they do. A friend of mine at work showed me. I mentioned it to him about, well, you'll see in a second. So we'll take a look at that. We'll look at some more Google Chrome things you can do. This episode will be jam-packed, I hope, because we have lots of things to look at. So the thing we're going to look back at today is when I was showing you about Google Keep. I showed you how you could pull in a graphic with text on it, pull the information up in text, and it would print it out in Google Keep. And I said, why doesn't it do that in documents? It seems like there would be a grab text link, which is what it's called in Keep, that you could use in regular documents. And I'm like, that's crazy. Friend at work showed me. Here's what you can do. And it's a totally different way to do it. Watch this. I'm going to go over here into my drive and I'm going to open up my folders. There's my Google class, and I've put a couple of pictures in here to experiment with. One is from an article I did online. I borrowed this off a website and posted where it went and all that stuff for either free graphics. I always do one or the other. And so here's the first one I'm going to show you how it works. All you do is right click on a graphic and open with Google Docs. No grab text like it says in Keep. So you just right click it, open with Google Docs. Watch, almost immediately, doom, 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 doom. Oh, I probably shouldn't do that. There's copyright on that tune. Right there, here you go. This is the header off of my website. Hopefully you're used to it. I can make it a little bigger if I want so you can see it better, help you there. So go ahead and do that. So anyway, here it is. Look at the text. We've got double clicks, tech for those of us born in the 20th century. I've got double clicks here. Now it doesn't get it in line just right. It goes across to home, seminars, how to, attendee comments, contact Ron, and then look. The next line, tech for those born in the 20th century. Then look what it finds. Newspaper, news. Finds that. It's got an underline under it too, it thinks. So I don't know where the RR comes from. I did look for that, and I don't know where it found it. So I've blown the picture up and searched a while ago as I was testing this, so who knows. But then look, you see this little chalkboard here? I'll make it larger for you to see. It's not going to be very pretty, but I'll just show you here so we can compare it. Look at this. Down here it found double clicks live right up here. Tech for those of us born in the 20th century. Tech for those of us born in the 20th century. That is pretty slick. Now, why didn't it get all the letters on the typewriter keyboard? I imagine because it didn't get it or something. I mean, it just didn't find them. You know what? And I just saw what might be the RR. It could be the tab button on my keyboard. I'm not sure. So anyway, I'll put this back down to size so you can see it all. That's how it works. You just right click on a graphic and it will pull the text off of it. Amazing. All right, let's go back to something else. I'm going to go back over to Google Drive, so we're cool on that. So I could just hit home and it goes down to the words in there too. It's just amazing what it'll do. Click here. These are all my documents I want to show you in the Drive. First of all, I've got it in this folder, and here are my photos. The one that I just converted, and I kept it there in the photos area, so I could move that to a document if I want. And to do that, remember, you can right click it and move it, or I can click on it and drag it over to Google Class where I'll keep the documents. Now, here's a graphic. Take a look at this one. This is about incognito mode. Oh, I pulled this right off of Chrome when I was doing incognito. We'll look at that today maybe. But here's the text. This is just a graphic. I have not converted it into a document yet. Now watch this. I can go up to my Google Drive, incognito, and search. Look at this. To me, that's amazing. It found the word incognito right here in a graphic. That's pretty much amazing to me. I really like this. So anyway, there's a little flashback at what we looked at before. Now, it doesn't happen immediately. If you had put this graphic in like 30 seconds ago and you tried searching for the words, wouldn't find it. I'd say give it, I don't know, anywhere from 5 minutes to a half hour. It takes a while to OCR on this, or perform optical character recognition. Good word, remember, OCR, now you know what it means. Optical character recognition. So there you go. So take a look at how this works. It's just amazing. So if I had other graphics in there, you know, I've got one, I think, that mentions, was it Mount Pleasant? Let's just try Mount and see where it finds it, if anywhere. Look, it found it in the document and on the pictures, but I don't have just the pictures, so I can't really prove it. But there's, you see, on this document, it's got the word Mount, so it may have found that. It's got the word Mount here, so it may have found that. And it's got the word Mount on the sign, so it may have found that too. But I guarantee you it would find it, because this has been in there for weeks, so it would find it really quickly. All right, let's go back just to Google itself. We're going to go to our home page, which is where we set it last week. I'm going to go ahead and close down all the others, and we're good to go. Okay, a couple other things today. First, I'm not drinking Coke today. I'm drinking coffee. Here's to you. It must be early in the morning here. It's not really, but I just like coffee sometimes. As we look here, a couple of things I want to show you today is a little bit more about bookmarks, and then we're going to get off bookmarks into a couple other really neat things. First thing, you remember how we set them up and all that. Let's just find out something on Wikipedia. I told you, don't use notes. I do have an outline sometimes, but don't use any notes. We'll go to Wikipedia, which to me is I hate to say this, almost a worthless thing. I can't imagine college professors in our area let their students use this for information, because I could create my own article on anything and just make up all kinds of junk. Supposedly they check it, but come on, there's billions of articles. But we'll go in here and we will look up somewhere I used to be familiar with, haven't been there in years, Norfolk Botanical Garden in Norfolk, Virginia. Here's an article on it. Let's say that I wanted to use this. Remember, I can click on this little icon and drag it and place it right here. So there I've got it when I want to use it again. Remember too, I can rearrange it by clicking and dragging, move it in order where it's going. I can pull it back out here and right click on it. And guess what? I can edit and change all kinds of things here. So I could just call it, you know, Botanical Gardens. Wouldn't have to have all the extra words there if I want, or Botanical Garden. We used to call it the Gardens. I guess I was wrong all these years. So here it is. So it's in our bookmarks. Another area you can go in and adjust the bookmarks, and you saw this before, but I didn't cover it in any detail, and a couple of people wrote me and asked me questions. So I can go here to bookmarks. This will also allow me to bookmark this tab, bookmark all the tabs that are now open, show bookmarks bar, which we saw how to cut that off and on, I believe. The bookmarks bar is gone now. I couldn't live without it. So I would go back to bookmarks, show bookmarks bar. There are other bookmarks too. You can go in here and we can look at our individual pieces of information that we've got in each area, okay? And we can also import bookmarks and settings from other browsers. If I click that, you'll see you have to create it, tell it where you're pulling it from, Microsoft Edge, Explorer, Mozilla, or from a file. Usually you'll just pull it from one of the three once you get into your computer when you set up Chrome. Makes it simple. But anyway, it just found all the browsers I have. That's why it listed those for me. Maybe not list those same things for you. Okay? I like this. My browser is managed by my organization. There is no organization. I wonder who really manages it. I don't know. So I'm just going to kill these settings here because that's where it took us, and we're back at the Botanical Gardens, and show you one more thing about the bookmarks. We can go here and say Bookmark Manager. I think I did show you this before, but there were some questions. So in here, I can open them up, move things around from here, just like I did before if I want. So you can do things like that. I can go back and click on the bookmarks bar. It shows me all those. I can click on individual items and say edit, delete it, copy the URL, open in a new tab, open in a new window, and open incognito mode. Oh, incognito mode. That's what I want to talk about next. But first, more coffee. So I'm going to go ahead and say open in incognito mode. It opens up a new window. Notice, I'm going to pull this down so you can see, it no longer shows my little smiley face. It says incognito with the spy on it. So it's opened this up here. I can now browse in incognito mode, like a secret agent. Nobody will know what you do. That's a lie. This is not super duper secure, okay? Basically, all it means is that anything I search for, or if I even go to my Gmail account and log in, it does not record the login information. It does not record my password, doesn't record the username, doesn't record where I've been in the browser. If I go down here and I say a picture of Ron Doyle and search for him, hey, I'm none of them. I do know one of the Ron Doyles that we'll probably see in here. Man, that's pretty wild. Let's do images. There I am. Look, number 2. Number 2 is me. Look, there I am. Hey, look, this is a horrible picture, I think, of me in the newspaper. They did it almost, 20 years ago now. And I want to get an update, but they don't. So I might ask them for an update. If they see this, maybe they'll do it. But anyway, so if I go in here and I click on this picture, and then I click it here and look at it, okay, here's Daily News Record. Here we go. We got some things going on. We can see some articles. So it's really pretty slick because there I am, but that's an old picture. Matter of fact, how long has it been since you've seen a monitor like that, a CRT? So anyway, I visited this site. I've done that. What the incognito mode does is it does not record this. It does not record anywhere I've been in the browser only. The only good reason I can see for this, and this is my theory, if you and your better half are both using the browser, and you go on for your better half's birthday, like my wife, and I got her a necklace or something, she could get in here and browse my history and find out what necklace I got her. History. She could see where I'd been. I could see where she had been. I could see what she ordered. I could see what she had been looking at. I could read her, couldn't see her email and stuff unless I had username and password. And my wife and I do have each other's usernames and passwords if we want to check our mail. We're not real secretive. But this does not, incognito does not protect you from your internet service provider knowing where you're going. You're a wide open book to them. Anything on your computer, they're going to see where you're going, see what you've looked at, see where you've been, know if you posted pro or anti-Trump comments online. They basically see everything you do. They may not see the page, so I'll take that back, but they will see the browser links that you've been to, so that if you were ever subpoenaed, if you were ever subpoenaed in a court case that had something to do with what you'd been surfing online, like a bomb or something. Now I'm probably going to go on some NSA list, but hey, what the heck. But if you had been doing something illegal or something wanted to check on you, the legal system, they could get in and find out right where you'd been. So basically this only protects you, incognito mode, from local people looking at where you've been. And you're saying, well, history, how does history work? I'm going to close down incognito mode. By the way, there's another way to get there. You can click on little 3 buttons and go to new incognito window, or Control Shift and the letter N. Okay, so you can keep that in mind. So you can get there. I'll click it and show you. Now I'm there again. By the way, that's that graphic that I use. I didn't download it from anywhere. I just used this one. So I'm going to close that. We're back here. So I'm saying, they're doing history? if you didn't know it, you have a history. A history of where you've been since you cleared it ever before. So I could just go here and click History. It's going to open up a History tab, okay? So here's the history when it pops open. By the way, notice, you could also just type Chrome, whack whack, that's what geeks call those, history, okay? So you don't have to click over here and go down to here and go history. Also, this shows recent stuff that you've closed. So anyway, here's the history of where I've been surfing today since I cleared it last time, which was, it keeps loading and loading and loading. I may have never cleared it. Let's go see. Hey, I saw Gettysburg Address flash by. Here you go. Security alerts, security alerts. We got all kinds of stuff going on. I was checking some other stuff in there. So there you go. There you can see everywhere I've been. Everything I've looked at, everything I've shown you all, everything I've taught, texted, looked at. So now you're looking at the history and you're kind of like, oh, how do I get rid of that? Also, it takes up some room, and it does. But you might want to go back sometime and you could search your history and say, when did I look at Gettysburg Address? Here it was, December 21st is when we did a class on it. So there it is. I can look it up in here of what I've searched for. But let's say I want to clear it. I can go to Clear Browsing History. This gives you a lot of information too. You can do the basic, which is the standard that I do, basic browsing history, and it tells you what it clears. Cookies and other site data. Every site does a cookie. And yes, I know I have birds. I'm sorry. You're going to hear them. That's just going to be part of my podcast because I can't shut them up. I guess I could, but it would probably bother them if I taped their little beak shut. But yes, we have a lovebird and a couple of parakeets, and they all live happily together in one cage, which everything on the internet says you can't do it because the lovebirds kill everything else, but not true. They're happy together. So anyway, don't you care? Here we go, and we've got cached image files. Every time you look at an image, it keeps up a picture like that picture of me I looked at. It keeps that in your browser history in the cached files. So they're there. Everything you look at. I can tell it, when do I want to delete it? Last hour, last 24 hours, all the way down for all time. And then look at advanced. You can pick out a few more things. You could delete all the passwords and other sign-in data. I don't ever use that one because I like Google to fill out my passwords. Autofill form data. If you've got that set up, it'll do that. So I could check it to clear that out. Site settings, host apps. So I'd have to sign into these different things on hosted Google apps. So I'm just going to go in here now and use the basic and say, let's do it for all time and see how it works. Clear data. This may take a while, so I'll fast forward. Nope, it's already done. Wow, it's been a while. So there you go. Always consider, you can scroll down here and look for other things to do. Some things don't mess with. You can use anything you want. Just take a look at it, see what you want to do. So now we're going to set up something that you may have seen on other people's sites and didn't know how to do it. I'm going to close down the settings. I'm going to close history, and we'll leave Botanical Gardens up. I'll show you why. We'll use that in our experiment. When you start the browser, let me go ahead and close it down and open it back up. Mine is always starting on Google. I don't want it to always start on Google. I want it to start on, of course, one of my pages. I want it to start on DoubleClicks Live or DoubleClicks Info instead of Google every time. Oh, okay. Makes sense to you? Makes sense to me. Oh, one other quick trick. I'll show you in a minute. Just don't let me forget about sizing the page. So I'm just going to go in here and I can click on here to the menu or the little ellipsis, and I can go down to settings. I can search for startup, and it gives me some different information that I can choose. So I can say open the new tab page when I start up. You can do it where you left off last time, and it'll come back to all the tabs you had open, or open a specific page. Look at this. I can add a new page. So I can say, okay, we're going to go to, oh, and I just realized I shut down the Botanical Gardens. Don't worry, it's not that important. So I'm going to go to DoubleClicks .info because I want to read my articles, like you should too, and hit add. I'm done. Okay? It's all fixed. I can delete it. I can edit that. So now when I close it down and reopen it, look where I'm at. Double clicks. The last article I updated December 17th, and here it is February. I have a little work to do to catch up here. I'm sorry. I'm just really busy. So read them in the paper for a while. I'll have to work on a couple of these today if I have time. So there you go. I don't know where my time's going. I don't know what I'm at now, but let me show you one other trick about this. Let's say I'm on double clicks, and I also like Google. Oh, we're already there. As Google is my home page. I'm going to move this one over here. Let's say we want to go to another site. We want to go to have Gmail open up every time. And I'm going to slide it over here. This is the order I want them to work in. So then I can go over here, click on settings again. I could go to setup, but I also know that setup is right down here on startup. I can say use current pages. It lists all of them. It's all done. Now when I close it and reopen it, look, new tab page, my Gmail opens, and Google on my header page. So if I change this article, it'll be the next article in there. Here's the last thing I'm going to show you today. Some of you write me that the text is too small on your own screens. How can you fix that in your browser? Not only your browser, but most every other program will fix it. You can just go over to the three dots, click it, and then go to zoom. Personally, I never use that. So I can make it really small, or I can make it really large. And I think it goes up to like 400, 500%. So there you go. A little bit large to read probably, but if you have vision, hey, take advantage of it if you have vision problems. So there's another way to do it too, and that's to hold down your Control key and scroll your mouse wheel down. Down to get smaller. I'm holding down Control and the mouse wheel, scrolling down to 25, or scroll it up. And I'm clicking it one little roll at a time. If you want to get back to 100%, let's say, oops, I made a mistake. Yeah, you could go over here and you could click here, and I don't even know what that does. Whoa, that gets rid of my borders. That's the F11 key, does that too. Press F11, it gets rid of your borders at the top. So I'm just gonna do Control and the numeral 0. It puts it right back to 100%. Keep that in mind. So Control click up increases the size. Control click down decreases the size of the text, graphics, everything in there proportionally. And that works in many other programs too. You might want to try it. That's it for today. We'll have more fun in a week. I hope you have a good one. Send me your questions to this email address. Hey, also, I haven't been suggesting it, but please click that little icon down in the bottom, and right there, I'll be or maybe I need to point over here. It's always backwards. So in one of those corners, I think it's on my left. Go ahead and click on that little icon and either subscribe or like my page. That would make me feel so good. Have a good week. Bye.